We've enlisted 5 people with very different eating habits to help us out. Mark Berryman is a strict vegetarian and head of the Vegetarian Society of New South Wales. Although he does eat animal products like milk and eggs, a dodgy lamb korma in India 20 years ago saw him swear off meat forever.
I've been looking after my health for a long time now in terms of my diet and exercise, so I think I'm going to go hopefully pretty well.
From committed vegetarian to extreme vegan, meet 29-year-old endurance cyclist Harley Johnston. He went cold turkey on poultry and meat 6 years ago, and he's now a total fruit and nut fan.
I wanted more, so I went raw, and I haven't looked back since.
His vegan diet excludes any kind of animal product whatsoever, so that means that eggs, cheese and dairy are out. At the completely opposite end of the spectrum is our extreme meat eater, butcher Nathan Smith. He tried giving up meat once, but he couldn't stay off the cattle truck.
I lost about 15 kilos. I just lost too much weight, so I went back on it.
Nathan gets through a staggering half a kilo of meat a day.
Mate, can I get you anything else today? No, it's just that one.
Jamie Selva's also a butcher, but he only eats lean meat about 4 times a week.
Best thing I like about meat is the flavour and the nutrients it gives me to get through my day.
Our last candidate is all about balance. Edwina Searle eats a combination of meat, fruit and veggies.
I don't believe in an all or nothing kind of diet. I think you've got to have your protein, you've got to have minerals and vitamins from other sources, and we're made to eat meat.
So whose diet is the healthiest? Well, regardless of what our volunteers think, their blood will tell the true story. We'll be checking their cholesterol for heart health and comparing their levels of zinc, protein and vitamin B, which are all essential ingredients for long-term health.
And that's it. Cool. Press on it.
Yeah.
Dietitian Susie Burrell is overseeing the test, and she's especially concerned about the non-meat eaters.
They are eliminating a large number of food groups, so the vitamins, B12, iron, zinc are again at risk. So they're the two we'll be looking at most closely to make sure that they're not at any risk of nutrient deficiencies.
So what's best, meat, vegetables, or a bit of both? We'll have the results in a moment, and be prepared for a bit of a surprise. I'm trying to find out which diet is best for your health. Vegan, vegetarian, meat and veg, or meat alone. We've tested 5 diets eaten by 5 people with very different lifestyles. Each has had their blood analysed to see what effect their food has on their health.
Thank you all so much for taking part in this study.
Dietitian Susie Burrell has the results, and her first candidate is our meat and veggie omnivore, Edwina.
Well, the good news is everything's completely normal.
Oh, great.
And you're a picture of health according to your blood test.
So far, so good. Next up is our first carnivore, Jamie. Now remember, he mainly eats lean cuts of meat about 4 times a week.
Your cholesterol's all normal.
Excellent.
Your iron, your B12, your zinc, as we would expect from a regular meat eater, are again normal.
Yep.
And everything's looking pretty good, pretty fit and healthy at the moment.
So it seems lean is clean. But what of our other carnivore? Nathan eats just about anything with a pulse. 3 to 4 kilos a week, lean, fat or chunky.
Unfortunately, your cholesterol is abnormally high.
Okay.
So fatty minces and sausages really do add a significant amount of saturated fat to your dietary intake, which could be directly impacting on your cholesterol level.
Normal cholesterol levels range from 3.9 to 5.5, but Nathan's is already 5.6, which is a bit of a wake-up call.
I will change my diet a bit. I will look at eating more walnuts and fish oil and looking at lowering the cholesterol and cutting the fat out a bit more seriously now.
Now it's on to our vegetarians. First up, Mark. Keep in mind he does eat animal products like milk and eggs. It's meat he avoids.
The fantastic thing to note with your results is that your HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol, the type that clears out the bad cholesterol in the bloodstream, is really high, abnormally high. which means that you're pretty healthy. So you're in really good nick.
What a relief.
That's a huge tick for our balanced vegetarian diet. But what of Harley, our strict vegan? He's completely cut out anything to do with animal products and relies purely on raw fruit, veggies and nuts. His results have got Susie really worried.
My biggest concern is that your vitamin B12 is one of the lowest clinical levels we have ever seen.
Nice.
Harley's B12 is just 78. That's drastically lower than the normal intake range from 145 to 637. And it means our vegan could be susceptible to anemia, blurry vision and loss of feeling in the hands and feet in the long term.
In the case of vegans, it's really up to them if they decide to supplement with vitamin B12. It is primarily from animal-based food, so it's probably worth him discussing it with his GP or medical specialist to determine if the benefits of taking it outweigh the negative issues he has with having animal product in his diet.
On the positive side, the rest of Harley's results were perfectly normal. So, Mark, Edwina and Jamie have healthy diets, but Mark gets a special mention for having lots of the right kind of cholesterol. In fact, recent studies have shown that a balanced vegetarian diet can often reduce cholesterol levels. The main message for Nathan and Harley is, if you're going to be an extreme meat eater or vegan, you have to accept there may be health consequences.
It's a personal preference the way you eat. The key thing is that whichever diet you choose, whether it's vegan, vegetarian, that it's well balanced and ticks off all those key nutrient groups.
And speaking of healthy, well-balanced diets, a small piece of pure dark chocolate every now and again can actually encourage cardiac health. Unfortunately, the same doesn't go for milk chocolate. Sorry about that. And that's our show for the week. As always, you'll find information on all tonight's stories on our website, 9msn.com.au, and follow the prompts. Thanks for joining us.